the architect called for a big stairway here. It's going to look something like this. You can see how this goes down this way and that way. It's almost like a section of a pyramid as you come up.
So we're going to build this?
We're going to build this.
Awesome. Wow, Tommy, look at the size of this footing. Does this represent the bottom end of the stair?
Yeah, it's a big stairway. Now, this is a 12-inch thick steel reinforced concrete footing.
Okay.
It also represents the bottom step or the bottom landing because it's wider than the rest of the treads.
Yeah, okay, so the grade will be here, you'll step up, and then we'll
Right.
get onto the stairs, which always require just a ton of math.
Yeah, the stairs do require a ton of math. First thing we need to know is our finish height and our finish ending.
So finish height is the top of the decking right there, and you're saying this is the finished height of this first step?
Right. So what I do is I take that number, whatever it is, and from the top to the bottom, and I calculate that height. So let's say I have a number of 65 inches. I want to divide that 65 inches by 8.
Now why 8?
The reason I divide that by 8 is because even though the building code allows for me to go a little bit higher than 8 inches for each riser, I don't like stairs to have a higher than 8-inch riser.
Okay, so this is 8 inches. How many times does it go into 65?
So if I go 8 into 65, I end up with 8 and an eighth. All right?
One left over, right, okay.
So I'm going to take that 8 and an eighth and round it up to the next highest number, which is 9. Divide that into the 65, and I'm going to end up with 7 1/4.
And you round up because you don't want the tread to be 8 1/8. You want it to be lower than that.
Lower.
So add a tread, go to 9, and that gets you less height.
Right.
Gotcha. And when I say gotcha, I'm kind of lying, but I gotcha.
All right, now I'm going to use this first stringer as a pattern to cut all the others. All right, now we're going to install our stringers using a 3-inch coated screw. All right, we have the stair stringers in for the straight run here,
Yeah.
and we have the stair stringers in for the straight run here.
Yeah.
Now, if you think of this part of the stairway right here, think of it as a hip roof.
Huh,
All right,
okay.
these are our standard rafters. Now we have to frame a hip rafter from that corner to this corner.
And so that's what this beast is right here, your hip rafter for the staircase?
Yeah, these are actually 2 hip stringers cut together.
Hip stringers, all right.
Yeah,
well, this thing's
I lay them in place and I drop them down.
all right.
And now what we have is our stair stringer in the middle. All right.
So this is obviously a different layout than our straight stringers right there. How did you figure all of this?
Well, it's different in one part, but not the other. The stringer height for the riser is exactly the same as the straight run.
Obviously, because our step up is the same all the way around.
But because the distance from the outside corner there to the outside corner here is longer,
Yeah.
the tread has to be longer also.
So how do you figure the length of this tread?
Well, the easiest way to do it is you could cut a couple of pieces of wood the exact size as the steps over here.
Okay.
All right? But if you lay it on the corner here and you miter the corners of 2 of them, you put it together like that, that's how your stair is going to go. This dimension right here is the length of our stair tread.
And this is obviously a lot longer than this, so that's a perfect template for laying
Yep.
these out.
Exactly.
Cool. All right, so we ready to screw this off?
We're ready to screw it together. All right, now we have to start infilling this section right here. And much like a hip roof that has jack rafters, we have jack stringers. And they are cut a left and a right, and they get shorter over the run of the hip.
And how do you position them down this jack stringer here?
They have to be placed 16 on center from our standard stringer. So I've marked from this one right here, 16 on center. My next one is 16 on center. My jack stringer is going to go right there.
So this guy's going to fit in just like that.
Yep.
Right there.
Each jack rafter gets shorter as it comes down the length of the hip. and the one on the right is the exact same length as the one on the left. All right, there you go.
Tommy, I love it. This thing looks awesome. Look at that, nothing supporting it underneath.
No.
Beautiful corner, looks like a pyramid.
It's a lot of work, but a lot of fun.
You know what? I think it looks so good, we should just leave it as is.
Well, if you have narrow feet, it will work for you, but we got to dress it up. We're actually going to put some PVC risers on here.
Yep.
Miter the corners, make it nice. And for the stair treads, we'll use some of this Ipe, same stuff we used on the decking. Miter these corners, and that'll really dress it up.
All right, so when that is all finished, that is going to be a sweet looking staircase.
Sure is.
Wow, Norm, these stairs really dressed up nice, huh? That looks terrific.
Right.
So get the last riser going in.
Right. Now for the risers, we're using 3/4 inch PVC. It's white, the same color as the trim as the house, so we don't have to paint it.
Perfect.
And it'll never rot.
So no maintenance there, and we're using the Ipe on the decking, which we're going to leave natural, so no maintenance there either.
Okay, now that caulking is going to help bond the joint so it never opens up.
Nice right there.
All right, get some screws in it.
Okay, last one.
Right, now the manufacturer makes these little plugs and they're slightly tapered. The tapered end goes in the hole first.
An easy system, and it just looks great.
All right, now for the treads, we want to make sure they overhang the riser by about 1/2 inch.
Okay.
We're going to miter the joints, 3 full width boards and 1 filler strip. We'll start from the inside and work our way out. We rip the first piece to width and miter the ends at the miter saw. I'll mark the end for length and then add 1/2 inch for an overhang. We'll round over the top edges of the ends with the router to give it a finished look. Now the first full width pieces have been cut and mitered where they're going to join together, and we're spacing them with these nails. Now one of the problems that can happen with this miter joint that is over time one of these pieces may rise up, making the surface uneven. Now to keep that even, we're going to use these loose tenons. We'll cut mortises in the decking, install the tenons, and that'll keep everything perfectly flat. We simply tap the tenons into the mortises, no glue necessary. We will use glue on the stringers and exterior expanding glue to help hold the decking in place.
Corner staircase, a lot of work from the framing to the finish, but that's a really good look.
Right, and between the staircase and the deck, the family will have a lot of room to hang out.
So all that hard work was worth it.
It was.
Thanks for watching. This Old House has got a video for just about every home improvement project, so be sure to check out the others. And if you like what you see, click on the subscribe button to make sure that you get our newest videos right in your feed.